Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Trust the Profits, fastest 2 minutes in horse racing. Tonight, I am joined by Ken Rudulph, special guest. We'll get to him in 1 second, but you can find him on Twitter at Mr. Ken Rudulph TV. He's a TV host, sports betting analyst, and horse racing handicapper on at FanDuel TV and at TVG. But you may know him, and Ken, this is how I remember, a legend on YouTube, by the way. And this is going to be broadcast on YouTube mostly.
Yeah.
You already know where I'm going with this, the 2014 Giacomo result, where that video's got like 7 million views or whatever else. But you were on that 50-1 Giacomo bet, I assume, right? I mean, tell us a little story on that one real quick before we get started.
Well, first off, thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate you, man. It's all good.
Once again, Sun King,
yes,
the number 3 horse.
Yeah, Bandini,
15. The number 15. Giacomo, the number 10 horse.
Oh my God, a Fleet Alex is flying. Giacomo, where's he at? Giacomo,
in the blue, coming down to the finish, closing argument, short lead. Giacomo, a Fleet Alex.
Giacomo,
get it! It's a 3-horse photo finish.
Get it! Ken,
and on the wire, it's Giacomo. What? So it is Giacomo, the winner of the Derby, and the second biggest long shot in the 131-year history of this race.
Well, first off, thanks for having me, brother. I appreciate you, man. It's all good. I don't know, man. It's one of those things where I was still new in the game, right? TVG started in 1999. They hired me to be one of the hosts. They only had maybe 4 or 5 of us that didn't know anything about horse racing whatsoever. And the goal was to teach me the job on the air, teach me how to do this. And so by the time we get to Giacomo in 2005, I've been learning for 5-6 years. And, you know, people told me, hey, you got to follow pedigrees and this and that. And so I found a horse. Mike Smith's like, hey, man, that's my Derby horse. And I loved Mike Smith already. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this horse. So I watched the horse as a 2-year-old, and he kept running 3rd and 4th. And I was like, there's something about that horse. I like him. And so I felt like it was really important to stay the course, stay with that horse. I apologize as people bother me now. And I did, and it worked out. And we bet $100 to win, and he won at 50-1. And woohoo!
There you go. Bada boom, bada bing. And then later at Country House, 73-1. I saw that too on your resume here. So we'll jump into that later. This is a quick video. We're going to hit 5 quick questions in rapid fire succession. Let's do this, Ken.
Let's go.
So far from what you've seen, give me the best name in the Derby.
It's a tie. Derma Sotogake is an awesome name, but I also love King's Barnes because I'm a Kings fan. So King's Barnes to me is like the best name.
Chris Webber guy or no?
Oh, yeah, Chris Webber, but mainly a guy named Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond.
Oh, yeah. Mitch Richmond. Run TMC, baby. I know exactly who he is.
Rock is my dude.
I had to revisit the Chris Webber. I'm from Michigan originally, so you had a few seconds to spare, so I had to toss that in. Next up, give us your best value pick on the board. Since you're so good at finding Giacomo and Country House, find us one here.
I hear you, man. Well, I think the pick that I'm going to choose as the winner coming up is going to be great value, but I think it's Mage or Mage, M-A-G-E. I think that horse is going to be great value. I think that horse really showed something special in that Curlin, Florida Derby where Forte had to be all out to get past him. That horse, I think, is going to be great value.
Absolutely agree. I was right there and watched Forte. I didn't think he was going to make it. Mage looked super strong. So I agree 100%. Let's go to another interesting question here. Most overhyped horse. Who do you think has been talked about a lot that you don't necessarily see it in?
Wow. That's a very good question. At first I was going to say the Japanese horse, but I don't think so. I think Derma Sotogake deserves to be there and get all the hype. You know, I got to say
4, 3, no pressure. I love it. And happen to agree. I think that's exactly who I picked for my most overhyped. All right. Now here comes the big pressure from Mr. Ken Rudulph. Who's the Derby winner this year? Early pick, another couple weeks away.
Oh, well, it's so weird because about 72 hours ago, I found my horse and I saw him and I kept watching backtracks and I'm like, oh my God, I love this horse. Confidence game. I love confidence game. This horse has incredible pedigree and I know it's coming back off of a long layoff. They haven't run since the end of February, but man, this horse runs well every single time. And I'm trusting Keith DeSormo. I love that horse.
And you're going to get that 50-1 type of value on that horse, I think, easily. If you're right there, Ken, you're going to get paid off, buddy.
Again.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. Let's see. Last place in the Derby, which We all know this is kind of a random deal because a lot of them pull up and don't really finish strong once they realize they don't have a shot to win. So who's a horse, and it kind of goes along with most overhype, but who's a horse that you can see finishing dead last in this thing?
To be honest, it's the Japanese horse. I keep saying his name, Derma Sotogake. The reason why he finishes last is because he has speed, but there has never been a horse that's been bred in another country that's faster than what we have. Never happened. And every single year, we saw it last year. The Japanese horse popped out of there and went crazy on the front end and faded all the way back. This horse
Crown
is
Pride, I believe, right?
Yep. What do you say?
I said Crown Pride last year was the Japanese horse.
There you go. Look at you, bro. I love that. You're right on top of it. But that's what I'm saying. They don't have the speed to go with these. You know, Kings Barnes is going to fly out of there. I think Two Phils might be out there pretty early. I think Verifying is going to be out there. So I don't think this horse is going to be able to take that heat. He's going to fade back to last.
At the very least, I agree with you 100%. I think we're in lockstep on most of these, but at the very least, you don't know what the Japanese horse has. He might be the fastest thing out there. He hasn't faced any of these horses. He's the only one in the field who hasn't faced any of them. We don't really know what he's faced. And that's the biggest knock.
But we know the breeding and the pedigree is that, and the training is that we train for speed here, right? There's never been another country that's been able to find horses faster than what we got. So this is going to be interesting.
It's a good one. Ken, I appreciate you taking the time out. Thanks for coming in, man. Any last words, anything to promote?
No, man. Seriously, just have fun. Everybody get this money because it's not going to get itself. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Thank you, Ken. Thanks for joining. Peace.